Hello everybody, this is Master GIJOE. Welcome to another review of the vintage GIJOE figures. Today we'll look at the 1986 Zarana. And Zarana, these two figures are both Zaranas. They're just two different versions. They both came from the 1986 toy line. And this is the first version. It's better known as with earring Zarana. And this is the second version, is known as without earring Zarana. And actually, after the first one came out a little while, this is suddenly changing to the second version without any announcement, without changing the card. You just released this version. And who is Zarana? Zarana, she is the sister of Zartan. Zartan is the master of disguise. This toy is from the 1984 toy line. And also, Zartan has a brother. The name is Xandar. So these three guys came from one family. And when Zartan joined the Cobra team, Zartan leads the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is a biker gang. And so because of this group of people, Cobra Commander thinks Zartan is more important in the Cobra team. And also, this Dreadnought is based on American culture biker gang. Biker gang is a group of people after the World War II, and they wear the air jacket and ride on the motorcycle with a beer in their hand. And it is a popular culture in America. And also in Japan, there is also a group called Yakuza. And they also like to ride the bicycle around. And also, when we read the comic books, GTO, there is a very famous group. It is called Midnight Angel, and it is quite popular in the comic books, though it's not realistic, it's only a fiction group. And also in America, the first biker gang is called Hell's Angel, and this is the first gang. It is created in the year 1947. Okay, so these two figures, they're based on a real person. The first version, this Zarana, is based on Wendy Williams. She is a punk popular star in America, and especially during the 1980s. The toy company think punk culture will do some bad influence over the kids, so they just change it to the second phase. Well, during the 80s, there are two women who is very strong character, and the first one is from the Alien. Actually, the movie is in 1979. Her name is Ellen Ripley. And in the movie, she threw the alien out of the spaceship. She is a very strong woman. And also, the other character is from the 1984 movie Terminator, Sarah Connor. Where in the movie, she crashed one Terminator and just leave one arm and a little chip left. So these two characters are very strong-willed women character during the 80s. And actually, I think her face is largely based on the Helen Ripley's on her face. And also, her hairstyle reminds me of the traditional Japanese women's hairstyle, and especially from the back and also from the side. She made her first comic books appearance in the issue number 50, and she introduced herself to Storm Shadow. And there is an episode in the cartoon series, and she has a little bit of romantic story with another G.I. Joe, and that guy's name is Mainframe. So let's talk a little bit about their romance in the episode 72. It is called Computer Complication. And in the beginning, Cobra Commander wants to have some guy to hack in the G.I. Joe's headquarters. And actually, Zartan's team just volunteered. And Zarana, she disguised herself as a computer specialist. And she got into the G.I. Joe headquarters. And in there, she met Mainframe. Because Mainframe is around, so Zarana cannot carry on her mission. She needs to hack in the computer. So Zarana said, why don't you just get rid of him? But when Zarana just tried to get rid of Mainframe, and she got herself in trouble, but Mainframe rescued her. So because of that, she fell in love with this man, Mainframe. She thought Mainframe is a man who risked his life to rescue her. And also they kissed each other, and later on the Zartan said we have to carry on our mission, so they just get into the headquarters and also place a bomb on the Mainframe's chest. And later on, the Zarana also used the stunner to strike down Zartan to come back to rescue Mainframe. And also tell Mainframe, actually, she is Zarana. And Mainframe also helped Zarana to help get out of the G.I. Joe headquarters because he has a feeling about Zarana. Well, in the end, they did not get together. They don't live happily ever after life because they come from two different groups. One is G.I. Joe, the other is Cobra. But maybe, who knows in the future. Well, actually, in this episode, their romantic story is not really paid attention by people. Why? Because there is something else happened. That is USS Flag sink. Yes, USS Flag is sinking. in that episode, because these two persons, Zarana and Mainframe, changed the computer program, so Cobra Commander, they have some chance to knock down this USS Flag. So nobody pay attention to the romantic story, they just really sad about USS Flag. Alright, so this is Zarana. Let's look at her file card to get some information about herself. Alright, here is her file card. Her codename is Zarana. Zarana in Indian language means water stream. And Zartan's sister. I think Zartan's sister is also a selling point because kids don't want to buy some female figures. But when they see this, Zartan's sisters, they want to buy it. And also Zarana is a professional assassin who gains access to her victims through skillful acting and masterful use of makeup and disguise, while her brother Zartan concentrates on the purely physical aspect of disguise. Zarana works from the method actor's point of view to completely become the object of her impersonation, to think, feel, react like the other person. And she is an expert in small arms, explosive, and edged weapons. Like her two brothers, she also has the ability to change skin color. Well, later on, we have a little video about how she can change her skin color. And also, Zarana could have a brilliant career on the professional stage if the evil in her nature hadn't been so strong. She throws tantrums and cut ahead on lines and never leaves tips. And actually, these three things, I believe many girls can do these three things, and it's not so a big deal. She posed as an oral hygienist for 6 months on one assessment, armed only with a reel of specially coded dental floss to encapsulate her unwitting victims. She escaped dressed as a granny lady, hobbling on a walker, right past the cops into a cab. The cabby remembered her because she didn't leave a tip. So this is Zarana. Let's look at her figure. Okay, so these are the two figures. They are both Zarana, and only the head sculpt is different. And this is the first version with the earring. And actually, this with the earring I think is better because if you look at the Xandar, Xandar also has earring here. So with the earring, they matches, just like come from one family. And also her hair color, this color is orange. And also in the cartoon, the color is orange. But in the comic books, her hair color is pink. So let's look at her brand name. Made in Hong Kong, and also inner thigh says, okay, 1986. Okay, and right, let's look at her accessory first. First is this little gun here. Actually, it's more like a hand saw. This weapon's name is Razor Hone, the spur cutting weapon. Okay, and it's pretty detailed here, back and forth, different molded. And this is the part, can make this part rolling around. And this weapon, I believe, can do a lot of damage to the properties, but cannot have a lot of killing power. And this weapon really reminds me of the Pathfinder's Weed Eater. And Weed Eater seems to be like a larger version of this weapon, and also a more detailed, can rolling around in the front. This is from the Pathfinder. Okay, so this is the weapon of Zarana. And also her backpack. It is a very rad backpack, and you can recognize this backpack even if you are 10 miles away from Zarana. And there are some details really. There are 2 bombs here, and also there are 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. I believe inside of there are different costumes because Zarana likes to disguise herself as a different person. And also this part, many people don't know what is it. I think it is like a ninja weapon. It is a poison needle launcher. Okay, it can shoot out thousands of poison needles. It is a special ninja weapon. So this is the backpack of Zarana. Okay, let's look at the figure here. I think the first version is more beautiful than the second version because the second version really like a very cutie Japanese girl, and this version really like Zarana herself. And they both have red lipsticks. And this face looks more angry, and this face looks a little bit calmed down. And with the earring, very beautiful. So let's look at her clothes here. And this piece of cloth is a bright pink cloth. And here is directly paint on her skin color plastic. So if you rub here a lot, this color will wear off. It will show the skin color here. And also this shoulder armor. And in the comic books, if you lift this part up, and there is a tattoo of a dragon. And this is a gun holder, though she did not have a pistol, but in the comic book we can see she is using the pistol sometimes. And also this arm armor reminds me of the ninja style armor. It is also pretty detailed. And her belt with this little gold paint is also very easy to wear off. And her dagger here is very detailed dagger. It is not a combat knife. It is a Roman little dagger. And there is a knee armor here. Well, her left leg, there is a big hole. And actually, according to the original artwork, this part should be like a skin color. But maybe they think it's too exposed. And they paint this part pink. So it feels like she's wearing a tights, pink tights inside of there. And also, there is a spur behind her boot. It is also very detailed. So she can ride horses sometimes. Okay, articulation. This is a 1986 figure. So her head can go up and down and go left to right, and you can rotate her arm here, and her little arm can lift up 90 degrees and can swivel her little arm here, and also her torso can move around because there's an O-ring inside of there. You can lift up her leg and knee bend down 90 degrees. That's the articulation. And actually, this figure has one problem in common. I mean, Zarana, Zartan, and Xandar. What is the problem is behind them there is a little hole with a screw inside of there. But if you take the screw out, you cannot take this figure apart. And they actually just glued here. So if the O-ring is broken, you have to use a knife to carve this open. And actually, there are some videos on YouTube telling how to fix this part. Okay, so let's put on her accessory. First is this backpack. And then is this gun. Catch it. Alright, so this today's figure, Zarana, she's from 1986. And if you like today's video, please press like and subscribe and leave some comments here because your like and comment is my future motivation and my goal. So thank you so much. See you next time.
Hey, Zarana, I've been thinking. Maybe you ought to quit the Dreadnoks, go marry that wimp, get a house in the suburbs, have kids.
Okay, so now let's do a color changing test. Okay, so we can see Zartan's color is changing pretty fast. It's already like kind of a gray, dark gray color. And also Zarana and Xandar. They're changing color pretty fast. Just changing in like around 10 seconds.